He's on the rope. He's spinning off the rope. He's moving around now and he's getting a little bit of a rhythm. He finally got that second win. Can't be stopped. Coming to a close, hands up, defense, side step, 1, 2, please don't know who to stand. It's the endurance test, the real fight begins. Take a walk to this corner, come get your second win.
Welcome to the Second Win Boxing Media. I'm your host, Rashid Hammond, and alongside,
it's your boy, Caesar Fantastic.
yes, indeed, today we have a very special guest in the building, man. I remember 1995. Two little guys at Hillcrest Boxing Gym preparing for their fights. I had to fight later as an open fighter for the first time. And I see these two little guys remind me of myself and Hakeem. I have no other than, in my opinion, what is my favorite fighter to come out of DC. Ladies and gentlemen, we have no other than Anthony Peterson. How's it going, brother?
Well, everything is perfect, man. Thanks for having me.
Man, it's a pleasure, man, to have you on here, man. Man, I've been following your career, man, since I stopped boxing. You know, you and Lamont, probably one of the only two careers that we really extensively followed after boxing.
Right.
And brother, man, I just commend you, man, for continuing on the greatness that we hold in this city, man. Because during that time frame, man, I remember that you and Lamont and Hurl and Keon and, you know what I'm saying, y'all guys was holding the glue to the city, keeping us right, you know what I'm saying? Because boxing was going through a dwindling moment, but you guys was holding it tight, man, keeping it going, man. My brother C's got a few questions for you, man, and man, you're gonna chop it up at the back end of this session, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
All right, so let's get started at the beginning, man. How you get into boxing?
My brother Lamont Peterson. Of course, you know, I was into acting, winning talent shows and stuff like that. I don't know if y'all remember, it was a camp called Camp Brown.
Yeah.
We used to go there every summer, and I used to win talent shows and stuff like that. But Lamont was always the one yelling boxing. Of course, you know, we 13 months apart. Whatever, you know, your siblings do. If you tight of age, you pretty much gonna do the same thing. So I followed him in the gym one time because, like I said, we used to always play, and I noticed his attention. After school, we didn't, you know, hang out no more. We didn't, you know, play throwback tackle around the way no more. He kept going to the gym. So I'm like, where's he going? He going to the gym. So I went up there, followed him up there one day, and I fell in love with it. And I've been doing it ever since. So this was February. Actually, that first time I put on a pair of gloves was February 13th. That fell on a Monday in 1995 up Douglas gym. I sparred Marshall Cunningham's son.
Okay.
Marshall Cunningham Jr.
Yes, indeed. I remember Marshall.
Yeah. And who's some of the boxers and fighters that inspired you?
Pernell Whitaker for sure, because and rest his soul. We actually had a good relationship up until he passed. Because I seen boxing as a brutal, barbaric sport, but when I seen him do it, it was almost like ballet. He was laughing, having fun, pulling people's trunks down. Lollygag, he was having fun. So I'm like, damn, like I didn't know you can have fun in boxing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have me some fun too, because that's what, you know, of course, that's what I was about. Comedy. If you follow me on Instagram, of course, you know, that's what I'm about, trying to make people laugh and entertain people. And when I seen him doing that in the boxing ring, I'm like, oh shit, I could do something with this. Like,
so this is different.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Now, what's one of the best jewels that somebody in boxing ever dropped on you, ever told?
Bernard Hopkins. I just seen him again, August the 5th of 2022, at the Virgil Ortiz weigh-in, then in Dallas. We and it's red. I run into him maybe 6 times in my whole life, but every time we run into each other, the conversation would be like 2 hours strong. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because he was so passionate of dropping jewels on me. People thought we were arguing. Like people started coming around because he was like talking like he was so passionate, and people literally thought he was yelling at me, arguing with me or something. And people started coming over. Then they seen when they got closer how he was just dropping it on me like damn, like. And it's crazy because I was having when I caught the plane. I remember reading it was like um, when you pass 35 years old in boxing, you pretty much done. You know what I mean? Like that's what the saying say. And I read that, and it didn't get to me, but it was on my mind. But then Bernard reassured me when I saw him in 3D. He was like, "Never let nobody tell you it's too late. Never let nobody like." He didn't know what I was going through. He didn't see what I read. It just that he came to me and told me what time it was. But he always, ever since I was, with Nashim Richardson, Nazim Richardson, which was another good coach. Rest his soul, was a very good coach in boxing. Nazim, he used to always tell Bernard about us, and then when he finally saw us, because Bernard beat all the DC guys up. Shout out to all my DC soldiers, William Joppy, Keith Holmes. So he kind of ran through the city, and they was like, "Nah, we got some youngers coming out of the city that's giving dynamite in them hell." And that was me, Lamont, Keon, and Earl, as you mentioned earlier in the interview.
All right. Now you 39 1-1. We see people get title shots, co-mains, and everything with 5-6 losses. Lomachenko 16-2, 2 losses, and he on people top of pound for pound. Why can't you get the respect that you deserve and get the big fights?
I mean, boxing. Boxing is not a sport. It's organized crime. A lot of people like the sport of boxing, Like, nah, this organized crime, baby. You know what I mean? Because this is the only place where you can be and these type of things can happen. Like in football, you have to challenge for the championship. You have to compete for the championship. You are qualified to compete. No matter if you you take 5 losses in a row and come back and win all the rest of the games of the season and be cool. Man, boxing is different. You know what I mean? It's like I said, have no national organization, whereas those like it'll be pointed out. I mean, nobody can point this thing out. Was like there's a governing body rule that everybody have to apply by. Boxing is just like, all right, it's wide open. Cincinnati, Baltimore, New York, and all the other cities. It's maybe like 772 different commissioners. You know what I mean? That you have to go by. That's different. That apply by different rules. So even with the promotion, the management, all these belts and stuff like that, if you ain't really got the likes and views that they're gonna cut into, they're really not gonna play you. You know what I mean? And it's like with me, my life is boring. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't do anything outside of boxing as far as like bad behavior or seeing me in on the news for anything, for just packing pistols or robbing people or anything like that. Is straight down the line. You know what I mean? And clean cut, work ethic, and those things will not be seen in boxing. So if anybody out there, any young fighter that's out there that's looking in on this, you have to speak out. You mean, to order to get what you want, you can't just be, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be humble. No, that's for certain parts of life, but in this boxing, nah. You have to speak out unless you got that pink elephant situation that I wanted to get into with Rick Ross, Freeway. You got to have somebody, a powerhouse on your team to substitute for the outside antics that comes along with boxing. I'm not about to sell out and be doing wild shit that's outside of my character. You know what I mean? To get likes and views, to be put on, or to get a world championship fight. I'm not going to do that. So it's taking longer than it would take the next person. So and it's cool. Like I accept everything that comes with my journey, because it won't be a journey without it. And I just feel like you can't really name nobody in the history that's about to pull off what I'm about to pull off. You can't really name nobody in history that's about to pull off what Lamar Peterson is about to pull off. To do the damage that he done, handcuffed and blindfolded, and we'll get into that a little later on. and to beat all that, to take a break and come back and do what he about to do. Slim on fire right now. I'm just giving people warning. Lamar Peterson on fire. Like, never seen big bro like this before. You know what I mean? And that's a lot to do with timing. And we have beautiful genetic genes that my mother and father passed down from a family of 12, same mother and father, and everybody aged slow. And like I said, with that being said, we don't do drugs, we don't drink. I don't have no kids. I don't have no baby mama drama, no stress, no tax agency chasing me, no child support agency chasing me, none of that. No beefs, no women holding on to dreams, none of that, bro. Like, it's just straight, just raw, uncut, no stress. And I feel like I can be like this until I wanted to. You mean?
All right. You mentioned them national organizations. One thing them national organizations have is unions. Do you think a union in boxing can work as far as going to like a fighters association, like the players association going to argue on fighters' behalves for why is this guy not ranked?
I believe it can happen, but they can't give up so quick because it ain't gonna be pretty in the beginning. You know what I mean? I feel like just bringing that into boxing, it's gonna be have a lot of people skeptical, a lot of people on the fence, like, I don't know. But you got to see the results that come from it, because a lot of people wouldn't really play that Mayweather shoulder if the results didn't come from that shoulder roll. A lot of people, coaches would have man, you better tuck that shoulder and you get your ass knocked out like Mayweather did. But it showed results and showed that it was effective, so everybody started doing it. You know what I mean? So the organization that you just said, if they present something, a union to the boxing, we got to stick with it. We can't just, oh damn, it don't look good, man, let's cancel this shit. Like, we have to stick around and be patient and see the results, because it ain't about us, it's about the youngest that's gonna come 15 years from now that's gonna benefit from this shit. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. All right, so now you moved out LA.
Yes.
What's the biggest difference in working out LA as opposed to working in DC?
Working mean far like working out?
Working
like
out,
boxing,
training, boxing,
yeah. Technology is different. It's like East Coast get everything late. And I've done several interviews, and I spoke on this about how, the West Coast, they dominating. West Coast boxing is dominating. Because let me give you an example. And I gave an example in a few of my other interviews, but if you haven't seen the interview, here it is. If you look at any East Coast fighter, and let's make an example, we talking about elite fighters. Gervonta Tank Davis, where is he from? Baltimore. Where did he go when it's time to get in shape, when it's time to really dig in? The West Coast. Adrian Broner, where is he from? He's from Cincinnati, Ohio. When it's time for clutch time, where did he go? Either Colorado Springs, Big Bear, or Vegas. You got Bernard Hopkins, even when he was in Philly, he go to Big Bear. Man, it's so many that I can name. Sean Porter, same thing. Floyd Mayweather from where? Grand Rapids, Michigan. Where did he resign to? Las Vegas, Nevada. Follow me on this. And then just look at all the fighters that stayed in a city, that stayed on the East Coast and try to dominate on the East Coast. No disrespect. Lamar Peterson, hell of a fighter. Thoroughest dude I ever met in my life. He stayed in the city, in DC, in the East Coast. Every time he stepped up on the big stage to a West Coast fighter or a South fighter, what happens? Danny Garcia, hell of a dude, good dude, can fight his ass off. But every time he step up to the plate, what happened to him? 3 losses every time on the big stage. Julian Williams and what's his name? From Detroit. J-Rock.
Tony Harris.
Tony Harris.
Tony Harris.
Tony Harris, yes. And I use him as an example because I think he's the most skillful. Is 154 pounder out there.
Say same
Facts.
thing.
But his health, his health, I think he better than both. I think he can be. And no disrespect to the Chalos, I respect and love both of the Chalos, but I think he can beat both of them in 1 year.
In shape, he would.
But his health. If you see, even when J-Rock was fighting, when he was catching, he got hit with 1 shot. Health not in order. Where are those guys from that's hitting these East Coast fighters? They from down south, down Texas, Vegas, LA, or Colorado Springs. You're never going to hear a fighter say, Oh, the announcer asked him, "Man, you looked in shape tonight. How was training camp?" Oh, I went to Vermont, or I went to Connecticut, or I went to Arkansas, or I went to Indiana. You're never going to hear that. You're going to hear, "Oh, I went to Colorado, Camp Springs, and got in shape," or "I went down south, or I went to LA or Vegas." Either you're never going to hear nothing about going to. And where's Shakur from? Shakur's from Newark, New Jersey. Where did he go? He go down Texas,
Houston. Yep.
down Houston, where the technology is different and better.
Facts.
It's a no-brainer to me. I'm trying to figure out, when do we become elite enough in our minds to come together and be like, "Hey, look, man, this ain't right." DC coaches, DC fighters, DC managers, or Philly, everybody should take notice on this. Like, nah, pay attention how we keep going to this elite level and keep getting skunked by these guys. And I'm like, damn, nobody's saying nothing about this. Like, and that's why I was like, nah, I am a Ferrari. I feel like I am a Ferrari. What happens if you drive a Ferrari every day in DC?
Somebody gonna try to take it.
Somebody gonna even try to take it. The road bumps gonna mess it up.
Exactly.
And you don't even have a mechanic that have enough education to show you how to fix your car when they get broke. So this don't make sense to come stay here in the East Coast and drive this Ferrari around. You might get likes and views. Oh, that looks so beautiful, but give it a couple of months with no real maintenance, maintenance to it. It's gonna go to the wayside, and it's gonna start looking like and running like a regular car and looking like a regular car. That's exactly what you're seeing right now. A lot of fighters are Bugattis, Ferraris, but they're hanging around Hondas and little cars and stuff like that. Local mechanics trying to fix your car, and they don't know nothing about these exotic cars. You know what I mean? And it's every day. I'm seeing. I just watched Earl Spence come from a car accident, a tragic car accident, come back and fight an East Coast fighter, which can go. Then you gotta see it. Look what happened. And it's like I said, it's even with Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao, like they technology is way better. They doctors are way better. Their dietitians are way better. Their nutritionists are way better. Their equipment, they everything, they food sources, everything. When I got out that joint, I was like, oh, like we definitely, I have to enlighten as much men as I could, as much women as I could, about this, and hopefully they take heed to it and do action, because I'm not doing it no more. I love DC to the full max, love it, but at the same time, hey, like I said, can't drive a Ferrari here every day, bro.
That's a fact.
God do what's best for you.
Yeah, they come in a blue. You come, bring it through for a weekend or two, and then you gone, bro. Because them potholes will tear your ass up.
you know, Cali always had that. Especially back in the days, I remember if they brung 20 fighters, 15 of them came my way with the national title back in the days, man. Yep. They always was a step ahead of everybody, man.
Yep.
Yeah, they always was a step ahead.
And that was something that Burry had peaked back in the day. I remember him saying, like, damn, the West Coast strong. We beat 40 of them, but we got 40 of them more to beat.
Exactly.
So what happened was Burry used to call Nazim. He used to call Mike Stafford. He used to call all the East Coast fighters, all the East Coast coaches, and be like, look, what weight is your fighter? Let's swap weights so we can be stronger. Let's not dominate each other in the regionals. So by the time we get to the nationals, we ain't got no ammunition to fight.
Right.
Because they already they armed and ready.
Right.
So what we did was we called ahead, Card Dog, and maybe weighing 123, I maybe weighing 126. I pushed Dynamite at 119 and pushed me at 125. Lamar at 132. So now we got a good window of good fighters that we can, kind of get some gold as far as medals and stuff, because like we got wiped out 2 years in a row. Nobody even made it to the semifinals. Everybody got killed the first night.
Wow.
And this was right after Kimi won it in 95 and
95, and I made it to the championship that year too.
Yep. And then Marshall came back and won in 96.
96, yep. Him and Yeah, Marshall did win in 96.
Yep,
Yep.
he won in 96 for sure. He had the blue belt. Never forget it,
Yep.
because I made it to the championship and
Okay.
lost to my good friend Drew Hartman. Shout out to my guy. We still keep in contact to this day.
Okay. Yes, indeed.
That's my guy.
Wow. Yeah, man.
All right, so
Go ahead, C's.
I'm about to say just one last one is we caught a moment of you, and last time we ran across you, we caught a moment of you and Sugar She talking about y'all Golden Glove rings. Why do you hold that ring so precious to you? Why is it so precious to you?
It's so precious to me for real because my brother Lamont Peterson got one. But I went to LA and I went to a mountain and I threw it as far as I can. I threw that ring as far as I can. Yep. I threw that ring, not saying I threw it away, but the memory, the love, I know where it's at. I know it's going to be safe. I know it's never going to be touched. If they come digging up one day, they'll see that ring. You know what I mean? And Lamont won in 2001. And I tried to come back in 2002 and win it, but I broke my hand. But I made for sure that I came back in 2003 and won it. And the thing was, I didn't even know the significance of me winning the Golden Gloves that year because that was a qualifying year. 2003 in Las Vegas, we fought from May 25th to May 31st in Las Vegas at the Orleans Hotel. And I fought every night. Then to make it, I had to beat two dudes that Lamont Peterson lost to in his career. So I'm like, damn, like I'm older now, I'm big. I'm fighting dudes that beat my brother, and I clipped two of them in a tournament. And keep in mind, me and Barry was going up there because Barry Hunter was my trainer at the time. We was going up there just to get some work because we've been out for a whole year. We wasn't going up there to lose. We wasn't. If we would have lost, we'd be like, all right, it's cool. We come back for the Eastern Trials and we come back for the PAL. But I went up there and won a whole goddamn Golden Gloves, and I got hurt every night because I just turned 18. I was fighting grown-ass men. And that's one thing about the Golden Gloves, winning it, and there's no taking away from the other Golden Glove champions. But that last year of winning the Golden Gloves, the qualifiers is the hardest one to win because everybody's trying to get in. You got guys that came out in Rashid Hammond in them days. Came out of the Warworks and tried to qualify. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it was like everybody trying to get a piece of the pie when it's trying to qualify for the Olympics. But I didn't know the significance of what was happening. I just went up there to get that ring, and I got it.
Man, man, between me, man, you and Lamont, man, has done so many great things with the sport of boxing. I remember when I first came to Headbangers Gym in 2000. And Lamont at the time was about, I think Lamont had to be about 15 years old, right?
Yeah, that's accurate.
So we running up 16th Street. And usually when I'm running, I'm normally in the front. I don't care. I always led the pack because that's just the way I ran back then, right?
Right.
Lamont was on my heels right beside me the whole time. And when we got back, I said, that boy gonna be definitely a world champion. At the age of 15, he was in a zone, man. He was in a zone. I said,
yeah, I knew Lamont was gonna be a world champion when he was 5 years old.
Right.
I knew he was gonna be a world champion since the day he was born. Like
I can believe it, man.
You can say a lot of people, and there's no disrespect to me or anybody else. A lot of people, you can say, man, you born to do this. His characteristics, as far as his mannerism, his mentality, the way he go about things, is perfect for boxing.
Yeah,
it's perfect for boxing.
It is
because he used to cry for it when he was in foster care. Christmas came around. She gave us a karate bag. Shout out to Miss Bernice. Our foster mother was a good woman. She gave us a karate bag, and he wanted a punching bag. And Lamont never cried off of pain. He never cried off of sadness, none of that. But that's the first time I seen him cry and weep because he couldn't get what he wanted. That's why I said, yeah, this dude different. Like,
yeah, he different, man. He definitely was different, man.
Yeah. And my older brothers, Jew, Lou, when family members used to come over, they used to hold their hands up like the hand pads and let them hit their hands. They used to be geeking. Like, show him Lamont. And Lamont used to pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop.
Yes, indeed.
Fast as hell. And they used to be geeking out, like, and look at each other like, I told you. And then they look at me and be like, all right, do your thing. I used to do the Michael Jackson and do all the little talent shows, all the little moves.
Right.
break dancing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my thing.
Right. So we getting into that, man. You never use the term fighting in when it comes to this sport. And I love it, man. I truly love it, man, because as you was breaking it down the last time I interviewed you, man, it makes so much sense, man. Like, as you say, Lamar was throwing punches. You was performing.
Yes, performing.
Basically, that's what your nature is you're performing, and it's not one way. It's not just boxing. It's many other things, talents you got. What's your aspirations about becoming an actor, and where do you see yourself with it in a few years?
Oh yeah, I definitely see myself. And man, it's crazy because me and Rick was just on the phone earlier. He introduced me to some guys because he got his movie coming out either April or May, but they're gonna start shooting it April or May. I want to be in a magazine for modeling, world champion, and a movie out in the same year. In the same year, give me man of the year. At that age, looking the way you look and sounding the way you sound, and hold it down the way you hold it down. Modeling picture in a magazine, world championship, and a movie out.
I see it happening, brother. I definitely see it happening for
I'm
you,
just
man.
hoping I can get me one of them bishop roles, one of them roles that's gonna grab
them
you.
Go hard joints, right? People gonna be calling you whatever that name is instead of calling you Anthony. That's I mean, you know you did that joint, man.
Exactly. Don't even call
indeed,
my name
man.
ain't Anthony no more. Exactly. Yeah, you right, bro. That's
yes, indeed, man. And you mentioned earlier about age, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember Tony Thompson, right?
Yes.
This was when I first came back in 2000. I told Tony Thompson that, man, you too old. At 28, that's the last time I have ever in my life tried to tell somebody what they can't do. I will never ever do that again. And what that proved to me, and it's been a lesson for me for the past 20 years now, that if a man believes he can receive and achieve, that man made millions of dollars over a period of time. Rashid Hammond made probably $2,000 from, you know what I'm saying, just somebody gave to me around the way. So I respect brothers that understand that it's all here. You know what I'm saying? That number's an illusion.
Yes.
And if your age, hey, bro, I already know what you're capable of. I don't see nobody at 140, at 147, 135. You gonna give them holy hell.
Like, hey, bro, trust me. And the day that you saw me spar up Dusty, that was just like a little brief.
Oh man, I saw you, man. Woo.
A little rough draft of what my thing is to one day, and I'm going to do it because I've done it before in sparring. Have an outer body experience. Be able to go to the fights, get some nachos, some juice, sit in the crowd and watch me perform.
Wow, God damn, bro.
You delusional. Like, you tripping, bro. Like, as a matter of fact, Tez Fox, the older one, Montez Fox. My last event was May 28th. The last time I performed, I was literally walked in with a normal crowd. I was out there thanking people for just showing up, shaking people's hand, taking pictures before I went to the event. So I'm going inside, the metal detectors and everything. So he says, "Man, what you doing? Like, you're not fighting tonight?" I said, "Nah, I ain't fighting tonight, bro." He was like, "Damn, man, like, what happened?" I was like, "Nah." I said, I'm coming to see me perform.
Right.
And he was like, oh, okay. He caught on quick. He was like, oh,
caught
okay.
on. He understood.
I'm like, yeah, I come to see myself perform.
That's right.
I'm definitely going to have that out of body experience. Whereas, like I said, I'm going to go to the arena, my nachos, my juice, and I'm going to sit in the crowd and I'm going to watch myself perform like I'm playing fight night or something. How I know this is possible? Bro. I've done it in a sparring session with two world champions. I ain't gonna say their name, but they're in the welterweight and the junior welterweight division. And one day I sparred both of these guys, and I had an outer body experience, and the shit was just simply amazing.
Wow.
It was amazing. It wasn't on footage, but I know two people that's dear to me. My brother Lamar Peterson and his bodyguard Kevin at the time. They
Okay.
both witnessed this, and it was perfection. Boxing at its best. Like and I feel like the things that I'm going through right now is definitely going to line up to everything that I watched from Muhammad Ali to Alexis Arguello to Raquan Kimbrough in the amateurs, to all the fighters that I ever watched, from Spencer Hosley, you and your brother, Ricardo Williams, all of these guys that I looked up and watched, all of that gonna show up this night. That night when I have that outer body experience, and I'm gonna have to retire right after that. Why?
Wow.
Because it's gonna be nowhere else to go after that. That performance is gonna be so perfected that anything you put out after that is all, and he ain't got it no more, and he washed up, or man, I need to see that again. You will never see that again. So I will have to exit, because that will be that beautiful that you ain't got nowhere else to go.
So what should we expect from you, man, on January the 7th, man? What we should we expect
You
from
expect
you?
fireworks, good performance, drama, and like I say, drama is a part of the act. You know what I mean? Boxing is just the act. For these
That's right.
6 to 8 weeks, you practice, you rehearse. It's like the Temptations. How you think they got the moves and stuff down, singing and dancing so good together like that? It's practice, rehearse,
Practice.
all the act. All boxing is just the whole act. Going there, and you know me, I'm very non-confrontational. I wouldn't hurt a fly. But you put me in that ring, I'm gonna act as if I am a boxer. I'm gonna go in there and it's a hurt business. I'm gonna artistically put hands on people and be done with it.
Yes, indeed, brother. I know you said you had a prior event going down now, so we gonna get you out of here,
I
brother.
gotta check in at 9:10. I think we got 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Man.
So what we gonna do, man? Make sure
right,
you
so
be able to get in with those people, man. And listen, man.
Well, before you
It's
go,
an
you know who
honor.
you fighting? You know
Yeah,
who your opponent is?
I just found out yesterday. I ran through like 4 different opponents because, like I said, that 39-1 record is spooky as hell. You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah.
And this is on the undercard. You know what I mean? So you only working with a certain amount of money of budget for your opponent. So it ain't like this fight is out there that will take a fight, but there is no real reward with the risk. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fighters that I know right now will get in there with Anthony Peterson, but they're not about to get no ass whooping for free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I get it, because I'm the same way. If it don't make sense on both parties, and it just makes sense for you and not for me, then this is not good business, and you just walk away. But I definitely have an opponent. Is locked in, and I'm definitely going to perform at my best, and I'm going to walk around that whole night with my jacket on, with my logo, with my name, my body, everything on my jacket, and just meet and greet people and let them know, like, 2023 expect a lot of good things from me. I mean, not just in boxing, but just in life, period. You know what I mean? Because I finna take it to another level, a level that no guy from my city has really went before. Like, I hear about all these guys, Jamie Foxxes and all these legendary guys. Like, I want to be that person from DC. Like, this is ours. Like, that's ours right there. Like, he ain't around here every day, but you know he rep and where he from. He ate all the curry outs. He went to detention centers. He went to precincts. He went to all the elementary schools, the high schools, junior high schools in DC. You know what I mean? Knowing all the people that I know, and just showing love. But that's where I'm at right now, to maximize my talent as far as it can go. You know, my focus right now is on 1,000. Like I said, I don't have any distractions. I have nothing right now that's holding me back. You know, the only thing that I won't say, a lot of people like, the only thing that can mess me up is me. We ain't having that, because I control me. So if I control me, that won't happen. You know what I mean?
That's right.
End of the day, and I want to give a big shout out to my guy Javante Tank Davis for doing and saying what he did. You know, for me and my brother, because like I said, man, a lot of people like yourself, Sean Porter, Earl Spence, a lot of these guys, you know, learn and watch me and my brother coming up, and I gotta give a shout out to them too for always admitting to because that takes a lot from another fighter to express their feelings about another fighter and how you look up to them and what they done
Yes,
for you,
indeed.
and things like that. That takes a lot of pride. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed.
And I really commend those guys for doing the things that they did and saying the things that they said. So you know, keep your head up, shorty. We ride with you. And January 7th, we all gonna party.
You know, when you was on when Javante was speaking to you guys, right, on the press conference.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to your press conference and you did the same thing to me, I looked at your smile, and that's the same way I felt when you told me the same thing, man.
Right.
It's like it's hard to explain it, but it's like, you know, it's a recycling.
Yeah, you lit that fire. From that fire from you, a fire was lit from me, and from that fire from me was lit through Tank. So that's like
Wow.
you like the grandpa of this fire. You
Wow.
understand? Because I used to, bro, I swear to you, bro, when I was looking at battle sheet, see your name on that jump, I think it was 2 times you ain't fight. How disappointed I was, bro. That then you finally for Kamal. I was like, bet. Like, they was like, yeah, it's on, because it was often it was on. It was often it was on. But I kept hearing rumors and Hillcrest, yeah, they ain't fighting. Rashid was coming, fight. Oh, they fighting again. Oh, no, they ain't fighting. I'm like, man, what is it gonna be? And I remember I seen you over there getting your hands wrapped. I said, oh yeah, it's on. I
Yes,
ain't missed
indeed,
none of your
man.
fights, bro. Like, I promise you,
Wow.
like, your style definitely was definitely beneficial to me coming out of the blocks, because like it gave me confidence. Like, damn, like this dude really, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, because I met your brother first.
Yeah.
In the Silver Gloves. We went to Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember he was sick. Kimi was sick, but he still put in work. And they was like, nah, man, wait till you see his brother. Wait till he got a brother. Like, man, wait till you see his brother, man.
Yeah.
They said, wait till you see his brother, because they knew I had that tenacity. They like, nah, his brother, like you, like. And once I saw you, I was like, damn, I say, man, Slim, he liked that, bro. And every time I saw your name on that bout sheet, bro, I was front and center. Promise you. Them Sugar Ray Leonard Gym hot dogs.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Motherfucking Hillcrest nachos.
Yes, indeed. Hell yeah.
I promise you, bro. I have a good time though. And I like, because y'all show big respect. Y'all didn't treat us like we was little boys. Y'all seen y'all should sit down and talk to us like, yeah, like, you know, this, that, this and that, this and the third. And I was like, damn, these dudes, like, I felt welcome in boxing, because y'all was running it. And for y'all to be talking to me, telling me certain things, I'm like, and I said, you know, man, Burry used to go home. He's like, what they say to you? I'm just saying, like, what Hakeem said, Spencer Hosley, even what's the guy name? I can't think about it right now. His name, not Silas. His name was his name was Jovan Mega Man.
Oh yeah, from Hillcrest. Yeah, Mega Man. Yeah.
Because he went with us and Kimi to the Silver Gloves too.
Yeah.
And he was one of the ones, like, he was real aggressive to throw a whole lot of haymakers. And I said,
he did. Damn sure did. Yeah. Because Sean had talked about him, and he said he had tried to give you some slack that time.
Yeah. And that's as we got older, because as I got older, my chest started getting a little bigger.
I got you.
It's like, you about my size now, boy. You kind of
okay.
I'm like, yeah, like, what's up? And I was like, and I went and told Sean. Sean was like, oh yeah. And I was like, Sean, like, like do that. And Sean did that up Hillcrest. I'll never forget it. Hillcrest had some legendary wars, man.
Yes, indeed, man. That was a place,
I said,
man.
out of all the wars, I definitely, the most vivid thing I got is you.
Wow.
Because like I said, you was my favorite fighter for sure coming up. Like,
yeah,
I used to love King too. King was my man.
King's bad, yeah.
That was Lamont man. That was
Lamont man. Yeah.
We Lamont to call him Reese's Pieces. Because I swear, like, King used to piece them things up so nice. And then you look at Lamont, how Lamont throw them triple uppercuts and quadruple up. I'm telling you, bro.
Yep.
all that shit stemmed from watching Kimi when we was coming up.
And you know what's crazy? We loved y'all the same. I loved you, and Hakeem loved him the same way too.
Yeah, that
We would
shit
watch
crazy,
y'all
right?
fight. We would watch y'all the same way y'all watched us, man.
Yeah.
We used to be happy to see y'all fight because we knew y'all was next, man. But y'all took it to another level, man. Like we would come to the fights, man, and we just be in the row. We don't try to be seen or nothing, but we would be there and be like, wow, they doing it to on another level, man.
And y'all, and quick news, y'all didn't even know y'all had us on a Bob Marley and everything, cause we started listening.
Oh
to
yeah,
Bob
we
Marley
did used to listen to Bob.
bro. We started listening to Bob Marley and everything, bro.
Wow,
Once we
man,
see
that's
y'all was
crazy.
like, we was like, oh yeah, Bob Marley, that's our man. Like,
Yes,
we
indeed.
got real deep into Bob Marley. February 6, 1945, was assassinated May 11th, 1981.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, brother.
Facts.
Man, listen, man, we could.
I gotta get to this other podcast.
No, brother,
But
I'd say we'll go on for days.
If you want to set something up for next week, I can give you like give your audience a run through or how I'm feeling as far as the cutting weight and how you feel the day before the fight, what's going through your mind, the jitterbugs, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, people really need to see this and hear this type of stuff before they start just be barking out, oh, he ain't do this. Oh, yeah. No, you got to understand what we go through 24 hours before the event and 24 hours after the event. You understand?
It's vicious, man.
You definitely got access to me, bro. So just let me know what you
Will
got
do, brother.
You know what I mean? So we can definitely let people know what time it is with that.
Okay, so I'm gonna see y'all at the weigh-in and the press conference, man. So I want you to get to that next interview on time, brother. So I'm gonna call you and text you, man, so the people can get a good interview from you as well, brother.
I appreciate y'all time, man, and like I said, y'all got access to me, man. If y'all need anything, y'all already know how to find me.
Will do, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, man, DMV boxing legend Anthony Peterson, the second win boxing media. Peace. Thank you, brother.